Here at DIY Nautical Dream, we continue to improve our processes. We try to make our quality better, and we try to get the job done right the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth time, but we never settle for something marginal or that doesn't look good. We got to live with it. We got to be able to look at it, and we have to be able to enjoy the work that we did and the quality we put behind it. If it's not first pass quality, we got to stay with it until it is. What do you guys think? Is that a win or is that a win, huh? Does that look better than that white plastic hanging down? And of course, we'll put some really neat light fixtures in here. Perfect. And it'll turn out to be a thing of beauty. And this will be the spot to sit when we're watching TV. Turned out really good. Took a long time. And there you go. Don't forget to watch it all the way through.
Yep.
And now you guys like to only watch part of it. You got to watch the whole thing. All right?
Just a thumbnail.
Thumbnail. Welcome back to another exciting and thrill-filled adventure with DIY Nautical Dream. In case you missed it in last week's video, we did a lot of hand sanding to get this teak panel to fit. Took hours and hours of hand sanding, lots of putting it up, taking it down, and then sanding again and again and again to get it to that perfect production looking fit. We're looking for a professional style fit here, not all gappy and wavy like what was in there before. We stayed with it until we got that desired fit we were looking for. We were looking for a just right fit, something we could live with. We know it wasn't going to be perfect, but we wanted as best as we can get with our ability, and that's exactly what we got. We're very happy with it. We took it up and put it down, tested it out many times until we got exactly what we were looking for. And then with the fresh discovery of that rotted plywood that we found from all the water damage up above, we decided we're going to cut that out. So we had to devise a plan to cut that out without damaging any of the surrounding wood around it. Took a little thought and creativity. We found a way. So we took advantage of the precise cutting ability to use a multi-tool. This tool really cut nice straight up and down cuts without damaging any of the surrounding structure around it. And so that's what we were hoping to do here. And we used the black duct tape to protect the edge of the cabinetry from the multi-tool blade rubbing on it and causing scoring or possibly damaging the veneer that was behind it. When using the multi-tool, we had to be careful to make sure that the depth of the blade didn't go too deep. We didn't want to cut into the deck up above, cause more leaks, right, or anything structural. So we were really careful to avoid doing that. And the multi-tool made quick, short work of this project. And before we knew it, we were at the very end of cutting out, and we're trying to decide how far to go with it after that. One thing's for sure, we succeeded in making a mess. There was dust, fiberglass, rotted wood, and epoxy everywhere. And I mean everywhere. So we got that done, and then quickly we just moved into the cleanup mode and assessed what we had done. We were pretty happy with the progress that we had made so far. So our goals were complete. We had the teak panel fitted and ready to go in, and we even had the plywood filler panel rough cut, and all we had to do now was fit that And now we're up to date, and that's going to take us into this week's video.
Hi guys!
Hi guys!
Welcome back!
Welcome back!
I'm Priscilla.
And I'm Rich.
Together we make DIY
Nautical Dream.
Let's go back to our project update this week.
Oh yeah, we have a lot in store for you on this week's update.
Yep.
Yeah, so baby's been talking about wanting to do some varnish work, so we have a little bit of varnish work up ahead for her. She gets to varnish the new teak panel, the big one, and a couple of the...
What's big one?
Oh, you know.
Oh, wow.
Don't let her fool you. And then we also have the window frames for the large lenses that we recently installed. She'll do some varnishing on those as well, plus some new mini light-based projects we're working on as well. So she'll get her chance to get some varnishing in.
Yep. And then we are wrapping up cutting out the rotted plywood.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. That's been a mess, but we have a little bit left to cut out. We need to finish that up. We weren't able to get it all wrapped up the last time we were here, so we're going to finish that up in this episode as well.
And we are fitting the new plywood.
Once we get that new piece of filler plywood set in there, we'll know what we have to do as far as trimming and stuff goes on that, and that's really just going to be the background secondary structure, but that will replace all that rotted plywood we cut out. So once we have the right dimensions on that, we'll be able to bond that into place and start working forward from there.
Yep, and another thing, we are test fitting the new teak panels. We like test fitting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, once you get that varnished and it's set up, we're going to fit that into place and just do a little teaser look to see how that looks. Hopefully it turned out well and it's going to be a thing of beauty.
Alright, so stay tuned guys, as we're going to show you our update this week.
Right. Sounds good to me.
Yep. Okay.
Alright, so we'll see you guys here in a little bit. See ya.
Okay.
Alright, so baby, what are we going to do today?
Doing varnish.
Yeah, so you got a lot of work ahead of you here.
Oh yeah.
So what we're going to do is she's going to varnish this up, and this is going underneath the right hand side of the boat under where we just replaced the two large non-opening ports. And so this is the underside where all the rot was. And so anyways, yeah, we cut away all that rotted wood last weekend, and now we're preparing. We fitted this one as well, so now we're going to do the varnish on it. We want to do the varnish to protect it because this is a very thin layer of veneer on here. And this is teak plywood. It's like $125 a sheet, but we're just going to put this varnish on here. It'll protect it, and then we're good to go. So, and then we'll continue fitting it later. And then looks like we have a couple other projects going on here that we need some varnish on as well. And these go where the large lenses were replaced on the non-opening ports up above. So we'll get those varnished as well. All right, so baby just got started putting the varnish on there. And the varnish we're using is this product right here, Sickens Sea Tall Marine Natural Teak. We really like the color of this. Over time, after it ages a little bit, it changes color just a tiny bit, and it really starts to look good. And so we're kind of happy with the look that it gives us on the interior of the boat, especially at nighttime or even daytime when we have lights, natural light coming in. It looks good. Nighttime when we have the cabin salon lights on, etc., it still looks really good inside. So we're pretty happy with that. One of our favorite things to do is when we're putting the first coating of varnish on there is just, you really start to notice the color change of the wood, and just, it's one of our favorite times is getting that first layer of varnish going down. And we like to use the foam brushes because, well, one, they're cheap, disposable, and they lay down a nice smooth pattern. It doesn't leave a lot of streaks or anything like that. So as long as we do our part when we're laying it down, it'll fare out and look really good when it's done. So all right, so we'll check back in a little bit and see how the progress is. So yeah, see, she's making some progress now. Look at this beautiful teak, man, love that. Good job, baby. Seems like you're kind of nervous. You okay?
Not nervous, I'm okay.
Okay.
You're nervous.
Seems like she's holding her tongue right and everything is in good position. So concentration levels at an all-time high here. But yeah, we like that Sickens Sea Tall marine natural teak color, the color of this varnish. It just shows really nice. I mean, this color looks great. So what we found is, by the old pieces of teak trim and stuff that's already in the boat that has obviously a different brand of varnish on it, what we've been doing is stripping those back down just right down to bare wood, not sanding away a bunch of the wood, but stripping them down enough to where when we lay down the new coat of this varnish, it generally will match up really well with the new plywood that we're putting in, the new teak and stuff. So pretty happy with that. And then once it has a chance to age for a few weeks, everything really starts to match up good then. So it's looking nice. We're pretty happy with how it's turning out. But yeah, this is going to be a really nice piece of wood here that goes in.
Baby did a really good job putting the varnish down on that large teak panel. That was a big one to put the varnish on. She did a really good job. That's going to look really nice in the main salon of the boat. Once we're able to close that area up and install that new panel, it's going to be something we're going to like looking at each and every time we're in the boat.
Alright, so now baby's doing the teak trim for the large lenses that we installed up above the non-opening ports, and those were leaking really bad. And so we tried to save this teak the best we could. We had to do a lot of sanding to get rid of all the water staining and stuff on it, but this is about as good as it's going to get for us. So we'll varnish them up, put a couple layers of varnish on here, we'll sand in between layers, and it'll darken up enough to it'll start looking really good. And this inner surface, nobody's really going to see that, but we're going to make it look nice as best we can, because we always want to do everything as nice as we can, no matter if it's going to be seen or not. So it'll turn out good. We did the same thing on the opposite side, and we rescued those pretty well, and they turned out really nice. So these will soak up a lot of varnish, and then we'll just keep layering it on there, and eventually they'll look really nice. So you can see the change in the color just on the first coat going down compared to that one over there. It's already really starting to look nice. So this is going to lay down nice, and then once it fully dries and cures, we'll come back, we'll lightly sand it, and we'll layer on the next layer of varnish. But we'll wait probably a day or two in between just to get a good cure on it. Always turns out nicer. But yeah, this is looking really good. Wow. Love the color change compared to this one here. So nice. And so now she's doing these little round teak pads here we made, and those are going to be for some lighting projects we have planned for a little bit later. So right now she's getting the varnish on those. It's a little bit tricky just because how small they are, and so the best way to do it is just kind of like she's doing it, holding it and getting the edges really good, and then the very last part she'll set down and then probably have to hold it down with a screwdriver while she's getting coverage on it. Otherwise it'll want to slide off onto the floor or table. Well, it's not really a table, and that's not really the floor, the driveway or the plywood there. And then she's going to get these last two, and then that's going to be a wrap. So look how nice this turned out. That turned out good. And the teak window trim, those teak window rings, those turned out nice also. We're losing our daylight fast, so that's why we're kind of trying to hurry this up. But we'll bring them in later after they tack up. We'll bring them into the house and set them down and let them dry in the house. Of course, that'll smell up the house, but hopefully they'll off gas enough before we bring them in. They won't smell up too bad. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started cutting this out. Okay, so we got that cut. Man, this jigsaw is really nice. Here this whole time I just didn't think I was any good cutting with the jigsaw. But maybe it was the saw the whole time and it wasn't the operator. Hard to say. But either way, that cut that really nice. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to end up sanding this down anyways. But we just want to get a rough cut going, so. All right. Very good. Very nice. Second radius here. All right, so we got that. Man, our last jigsaw, it would have never, ever cut that corner before. So this one here, it cut it no problem. That's really nice. See that? I'm pretty happy about that, actually. So that's cool. All right, well, we got that. And you could tell it got some heat through that corner, but that's okay. It cut it. I guess maybe just because we have a high quality saw this time, jigsaw. We had one of those cheap $19 ones we were using before. And it'll work good on straight runs, but it doesn't even cut straight for very long. So that's cool. We're going to go ahead and shut the camera off. We'll cut the rest of it. You guys got the idea of what we're trying to do. We're going to cut this entire pattern. We traced it off of the teak plywood, and so now we're just cutting out the same size, duplicate pattern, duplicate piece, and then we'll do all of our trimming and fitting, and this is going to be bonded in up on the underside of that structure, and then the teak panel will attach to this. We'll run our wiring through here and everything, so it's going to be nice. Trust me, we'll get it there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stop the camera for now. We're going to finish our cuts, and then we'll get back to the project after that. All right, so we finally got the plywood cut out, and it's going to be somewhat close to matching the teak plywood as well. So, yeah, check it out. And that. And we do need to do a final fit on the plain plywood piece there. It is not a final fit. It is close. We cut it out with the jigsaw, and then we got to do some final fitting, like you can see over there in that corner. We need to cut that section out because it's going to have to fit up in here, and then we're going to epoxy it up into place as well, and then that's going to be what the teak plywood will mount onto. And we'll also run our wiring. You can see the wires hanging there. They will have a slot in here, and the wires up here will rest into the plywood. So, and once we get this all put back together, then we can figure out what kind of lighting options we're going to have up underneath here.
Oh, wow.
So we definitely got to have some cool lights up under there, right? Oh yeah, and another plus is, I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's pretty stormy outside. And check this out. There are no leaks. I come into the boat and I looked at this right here and I was like, no way, we got a leak. But it's not. It's epoxy. It's looking pretty good on these non-opening up here, the new lens installations. And you can still see the butyl tape needs to be trimmed. Got lots of squeeze out on the butyl tape, but it's always good to have more than enough for the squeeze out. And we're looking forward to getting this piece final fit. So yeah, it's starting to look pretty good here. Coming along. This is one of the projects we want to get done so we can move on to something else. All right, pretty cool. At least we got the rough shape cut out tonight to match the teak plywood. And then we'll have to do the final fit of that and bond it in place. But yeah, at least we got that far. I know I said in last week's video that I was going to leave this section of the fiberglass here and the rotted plywood, but after we had some time to think about it, we decided we're going to go ahead and cut it out anyways, and we'll just try to fit in the new piece of
plywood panel in that area as best as we can. We don't want to leave any more rotted plywood behind than necessary, so we're just going to do the best we can and cut this out. The plan is to cut around this corner, and once we get to here, we want to come out this way, and then we want to clean up this edge a little bit. But for right now, we would want to come around this corner at least to here, and then we'll stop and we'll reassess what we got going on. So for now, we're going to cut. We're just going to have to go for it and see what we get. Okay. So we cut around there, and the tape on here is to protect the wood, just in case you're wondering what the tape's for. So what we'll do now is we'll make our cut out to here, and then we'll clean this up and we'll try to even this out a little bit, and then we'll reassess from there how much farther we're going to go. Yeah, I don't want to damage this wood, so we're going to come out a little bit. I gotta put a mask on. Fiberglass dust and all. Don't want to damage that. Okay, so there we go. See, I want to do this whole section right here. I want to do that all the way down. Trying to decide here. Okay. Okay, so now what? Do we just take it all the way back here or what? Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get out of here. Oh man. Alright, that's as far as we're going to go. There's no real benefit going any farther back. Such a small space. That's crazy. The only thing I can feel in here is the epoxy. When I put epoxy in here, that's the only thing left in there. Okay, so that's what we got going on for right now. Alright, let's do another fit check on this. This is like fit check number 59. Come on. What's the problem now? There you go. So that's pretty good. If we have that cut out, that's even better. We're going to be doing a few more. We're going to be doing a few more fit checks. We still need to take off. We're about here, about this much, all the way. So it will fit inside the lip we left. And we don't want to make too much, we don't want to cut too much off here, because then
it won't fit in there right either. Straight in, straight out, or else it won't come out. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we got 2 screws in there holding it in place. It's better than none, but now we gotta figure out the rest of it. Okay, so now that's up there on that end. That's pretty solid. We don't have any holes holding it up on this end. So we got to work on that. And then we got to get a couple down there. So let's see what we got going on here. So you can see down there. And the reason we left this gap like this is because we're going to have to fill that in separately with epoxy and some pieces of wood. So anyways, we'll get it. Same thing down here. I have to fill this gap. There. We're going to have to fill that gap in also. We'll probably end up filling it with some epoxy and some pieces of wood also. Blend them all together. It's secondary structure. It's not any kind of a structure we need for strength or anything like that. It's just going to be the teak plywood that's going to mount up underneath here, the lights, any kind of wiring runs, things like that. So it's non-structural. It's going to be better than the rotted plywood that was in here. And we're going to seal this all up with penetrating epoxy and everything like that. But so we got to piece it in sections. So we'll get there. All right, so what we went ahead and did, we went ahead and located the screw hole there, put a screw in there. Those ones we located with back markers because those were the original holes that were already in here. And then we located one here, here, and here. And then we're probably not going to put one right here because there's a radius curve right here, and there's really nothing supporting this on the back side. So we're going to have to fill it in with some thickened epoxy and let it rest up against that. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes right there because it's a very small area. We don't want to push it up like that because then our plywood's going to want to kind of curve up in that area too, the teak panel that we're going to put on. And we don't want to do that. We want it to be nice and flush so that it's all nice and even when we put it on. We went ahead and cut this out right here for the wires, and then we're going to cut a groove in here with the router so the wires will kind of settle in right here, and then we'll figure out whatever lighting applications we're going to use in this area. We haven't got that far yet. But when we were drilling the holes, we had to be careful so that we don't drill through the deck of the boat. And so what we did is when we drilled through the plywood, we could feel that. And then when we got to the first layer of fiberglass, we felt that. And as we got through it, that's when we stopped drilling. Because if we push any harder, we're going to end up popping through the top of the deck. And then we're going to have a leak, and we don't want to do that. So, and now we're trying to figure out what our next step is going forward. So now we have to become the engineer, and we're going to engineer our next step and figure it out. So.
Alright, so we got the plywood filler panel installed. It really fits good around the radiuses and the edges and all that. But the forward leading edge closest towards the interior of the boat, we've discovered we have a glaring problem here, and we're going to have to do something about that. Okay, so we're gonna take this home and make a new one. We cut a little too much off on this edge here, all the way across, as you can see. So we added the blue tape and we added our measurements on there of what we need to add for more edge margin. So starting right here, we're gonna add 1/2 inch going this way, 1/2 inch here, all the way to here, all the way to here, we're gonna add a 1/2 inch. And then going that direction, we're gonna add 1 inch all the way until we get to about here. And then from here down, we're gonna add 1.25 inches extra. And so what that's gonna do is allow us to close up this gap here a little bit, and we can trim off a little bit of the extra fiberglass here so that we have a little bit more clearance. But then what we'll do is once this is in, we'll fill this with thicken epoxy, but we won't need to use as much. So, and then eventually when this is all in and everything's the way we want it, we're gonna fiberglass tab it into place and it'll become a permanent part of the boat. That's what we wanted to do. We have a really nice fit all the way around here. And so yeah, this is even better than the original white plastic panel that was up here. So, and one of the other things that we need to keep an eye on is this over here. See how it angles up? So we're gonna have to shim the teak panel down in this corner here to match up with that, because if we follow it up, it will have a big gap under here and we don't want that. So we're gonna have to shim the teak panel down in this corner. And the angle starts right about here somewhere, so we'll have to just kind of gradually shim it up, but we'll figure that out later. So we'll just keep working on this area until we get it done, just like we did on the other side. All right, so yeah, we just got this we just have it sitting in here by hand basically, but oh my gosh, I am really happy with this, baby. How do you feel about it?
It's good. It looks really nice. We were doing a really good job.
Compare it to the piece of plastic that was in there before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like better? Do you like the plastic junk that was in there, or do you like this Nautical teak wood panel in here?
Well, I kind of miss the white one.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the plastic or do you like the teak better?
I'm JK,
Yeah.
I like that way better.
I'm thinking this is qualifying for a thing of beauty. And keep in mind, we're not even 100% fit. It's still in here just loosely.
Sample.
And the tape in here causes it to kind of sit out just a little bit. The thickness of the tape all the way around makes a big difference. But yeah, I mean, look at all along here. Man, we have a nice, good fit. I mean, that was like 1/4 inch or more gap back there before, and now look at it all the way through. It's really nice. And of course back here, this is all going to be taken care of when we put the new plywood up underneath. But I'm just, wow, that is amazing how well that's turned out. And it's not easy. We're talking hand fitting by hand, sanding, putting it up, taking it down, putting it up, taking it down, over and over again, repeating the process. And if you haven't fitted panels before, if you take off from the wrong edge first, it messes everything else up. So you have to do it in sequence, or else you'll get this side to fit really good and it takes this one completely out and it won't come back. And then you have to make a new panel. Based on my experience fitting panels on airplanes, I took it and I applied it and tried it out on here, and it's working out really good. So we'll show you what we got going on over here. So same thing, we got a really good fit all along in here. And even back over there, that was a huge gap back there. And so, yeah, this is turning out really good. And then up here, what we'll do up here is we'll take this, once we get 100% fit, once we have our new plywood up underneath here that we cut out when we cut out all the rotted stuff before, when we put the new plywood in here, we'll do the final fit on all this and bring everything in 100%. Once it's 100% fit, we will trim this off with a flush trim bit on the router, and it'll come out really, really nice. And then we'll put the teak trim on the outside. Everything will get its final coats of varnish, and we'll put our window frames in, and we'll be done with this, and we'll move on to the navigation station area, and we'll do all the same thing that we did here over there. What do you guys think? Is that a win or is that a win, huh? Does that look better than that white plastic hanging down? And of course, we'll put some really neat light fixtures in here, and it'll turn out to be a thing of beauty. And this will be the spot to sit when we're watching TV. Taking a look at these gaps here, I'd say our fit up of this panel, and this is still just a rough fit, I'd say our fit up of this panel is looking a lot better than the white plastic garbage that we took down before. That was just a band-aid from somebody else's failed attempt at repairing a problem that was not even fixed properly. So we just got to do better than that. I just wanted to show how it's looking.
Now that we have some varnish on there, see it matches in really good. And then over time, the varnish will shade and match better along with its surroundings that are different age of varnish and different type of brand. But yeah, that's the experience we've had in the past with the other panels that we've done. Over time, they all sort of kind of just blend in once it ages. And we'll put more coats on it. This is only one coat for now, but what I wanted to show was just how well it's fitting. And with the black duct tape in there, it doesn't allow it to fit in perfectly, but just kind of give you a rough idea that these gaps are worlds better compared to that white plastic that we had in there. So yeah, it's looking good. Especially in this area here, it was really bad gaps. And now they're all really nice. So yeah, that's just a brief update. And then you kind of step back and look. And you can see that it all blends in really well. And over time it'll all age and everything will match pretty good. So, looking good. We're pretty happy with that. It's only going to get better now.
All in all, I'd say we had a pretty productive weekend. We went from cutting out the rest of that rotted plywood to fitting up the new plywood filler panel and doing a test fit of that and making it fit really nice. And also we got the teak plywood panel fitted up there again, and that's really looking sharp. So all in all, I think we did really well and we had a very successful time.
Turned out really good. Took a long time. And there you go.
Alright, so what do you think, honey?
Oh, what do I think, or what did we do?
What do you think of my...
The varnish work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a C+ this time around.
Oh,
really? Hey, our grades are going up, so you're doing good?
Yeah, right.
All right, now, baby, you did a really good job on the varnish, and I appreciate your help. And you've been wanting to do it, so we gave you quite a bit to do that time. That large panel took you a little bit to get that done, but it turned out really nice. And that's just the first coat on there, and it's already starting to look like a thing of beauty. Well, so we made a little bit of mistakes. Well, namely me.
Perfect.
And when
Always.
when I was putting in that filler panel, I kind of cut it a little too small, and that's why I always like to go bigger and then work my way back to smaller. But this time I cut it small, and we can't.
Bigger is better.
Yeah,
anyways.
bigger is better. We can't add back after we've gone small. We can't make it big. So we'll have to take that home and make a new one with a little bit more edge margin on it. But at least we got the main shape down, and we just need to add a little bit on the front edge. So it'll be all right. You know, it's just the way it goes. You know, one way not to make a mistake is by not doing anything. So we are going to make mistakes because we are trying to do things. So.
And we'll learn from our mistakes.
So, but anyways, yeah, the test fitting of the new teak panel, that turned out really good. And that's just a test fit. We still have a long ways to go to make sure we have that as a final fit, but it's looking really good. I think we're heading the right direction with that. It's definitely a step up from that white plastic panel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so whoever thought that was a good idea, not sure what they were thinking, and you're gonna put that in there? Come on. Spend a little time being a little more creative, right?
Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. And please watch it from the very beginning up until the end.
Yeah, all the way through, and hang out for the bloopers, the outtakes, things like that, and then watch it about 5 or 6 more times each, all the way through. Just let it play.
It helps us.
Yeah, it helps us a lot. So, and hey, if you haven't subscribed yet,
please subscribe down below.
ding,
Boing.
ding, 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 right there.
Yep.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Anytime somebody is a new subscriber to our channel, we're really thankful for that. We're also very thankful to all the longtime subscribers and the people that support our channel.
Thank you, David Staville, for supporting our channel.
He is the one and only paying member of our channel, and yeah, we're so thankful, David, for your support, and we appreciate you commenting on our videos. Thanks again. We appreciate it. If anybody else wants to join in, we're more than happy to have you on board. Yeah.
Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. If you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe down below.
Right here. Ding ding. Somewhere right along down there at the bottom. Hit that old subscribe button and we will really appreciate it.
And one more thing, honey.
Yeah?
It's good news. You did hit record.
Ooh, what? Oh man, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Dang.
Alright, see you. Bye, guys. Yep. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. See you. Okay.
Dang, if I only hit record, man.
I think you did.
Okay.
Did you?
Oh man. Is it on?
No.
Man, these GoPros.
Yep. You GoPro.
So it's not working then, huh?
Mm-mm.
Dang it. Well, all right. Maybe you can help me.
I did last night.
All right. Hey, you gonna help me or what?
I did last night.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah. All right.
Check. Alright, see, so,
Of the new Teak panel.
wait, hang on a second. Did we record it? Oh,
Yeah. And are we?
yeah.
Okay.
Good. Just like we are, like, just, oh.
All right. Straighten her out here.
Dang, I don't have my microphone.
Oh man. You almost had me on that one. Dang, that would have been bad.
Welcome back. Oops. JK. Okay, that's it.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Dang, it's not recording again.
Always.
Man, is it?
No.
Is on the light on?
Gotta redo it.
Man, these GoPros. This thing
Blame
is
it
so.
on GoPro, huh?
Well, I pushed the button, the light was working, and now it's stopped.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm so frustrated.
Just let's redo it again.
Yep. We'll start over.
Yeah.
We'll start over. And by the way, we are the DIS of Y.
Nautical is
Dream. That is us.
Okay, quit playing, honey.
All right. Yeah, so if you haven't subscribed yet, oh man, dang it. I don't
Again.
think did I hit it? Can you see the,
No, you didn't.
man.
Oh, you did.
Is it?
No, we have to redo it.
Oh man.
Yep.
These GoPros, man.
Yep.
All right.
Time for a new one. Did we record it?
Hang on, no, not yet.